Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Cheryl. Thank you for joining me. If you're a returning viewer, hello, welcome back. Oh, I said it all wrong. And if you're a new viewer, welcome. This is a bookish video. I hope you enjoy it. I'm surrounded by books. Just a disclaimer here. I do have Tourette syndrome and my tics are getting a little bit bad today, so you might hear some noises or movements, see some movements that I do that I cannot help. It's my brain. It's the way it works. It's the way I was born. But if it bothers you, please feel free to leave the video and but please do so without leaving rude comments, because people, I mean, words do hurt people. So just saying. Okay. Also, I have a bit of a cold, so I'm coughing a bit. So if I cough, I apologize. Yeah, so first of all, I've got this mug. I showed you my other Peter Rabbit mug that I got. Well, I got another one. This one's cute. I forget what store it is, but if I remember, I'll link it below in the description box. But yeah, I think it's so cute. It's a little Etsy store in Canada. Shipping's free in Canada, and it's just, the prices are great, and I love these mugs. So I've got some hot chocolate, some Aero hot chocolate, so I'm enjoying that. Okay, so let's get started. This video is a video where I'm going to talk about some of my plans for 2023 in reading. Also, I made this little scrunchie. Isn't it cute? I've been making scrunchies like crazy. I bought this wheel of black hair ties, like hair elastics, and they were like 200 of them in this wheel for 20 bucks. So I bought it, and now I'm making scrunchies galore. Anyways, okay. So 2023 is coming. Can you believe it? I know. Christmas is almost here, and it's December 2nd right now, 2022. Like I said, I've got a bit of a cold. I don't have COVID. Everyone in my house got COVID upstairs and downstairs in our basement suite, except me. So here's finger crossing. I did test myself like 5 times, and it all came out negative. So I'm pretty sure I'm okay. But I do have a bit of a cold. I've been coughing quite a bit, and I was sneezing. I'm not as stuffed up as I was. I might sound like it, and I do look awful because my eyes are all baggy and everything, but we're just going to ignore that. Do you like my new shirt? I mean, this is new to me. I got it at the thrift store. Isn't it pretty? It doesn't show up well on camera, but it's pink, and it's so pretty. It's cozy. Okay, sorry. To the bookish things. So, in 2023, I was thinking earlier this week about what I wanted to do for my plans for reading for 2023, because I'd like to make goals, even though I don't think I've ever reached a goal, except for once I reached my Goodreads goal. Other than that, I don't reach goals. I don't like making TBRs. They feel like I have to read them then, and I don't like that. So I decided to make some goals, but not specific goals, like not goals that have a time limit. So as you know from my last video, I told you that I was going to try and read all of Debbie Macomber's books. I'm still going to do that. It's going to take me a few years, maybe even 10 years. I don't know. I'm not setting a time limit on it. I'm just going to enjoy what I read of her, and I'm going to read a bunch if I can. I do get burned out on certain authors and certain types of books. So, oh, my nose. I'm going to sneeze. Nope, I'm not sneezing. Okay. Don't you hate that? Anyways, I'm going to sneeze sometime. It's going to come and it'll be like, burst your eardrums. I'm sorry if you're wearing earbuds, you know. Anyways, okay. So there, I decided to do, I wanted to do, in my channel next year, I want to do more dedicated vlogs. I don't have an editing software. I can't afford it. I have a free one, but it doesn't do much. And I don't know how to edit. But I would, and I don't have a camera. I can't afford a camera. My phone it's just an Android, so it's not very good on recording videos. But I use my webcam on my computer. That's the only thing I can use, my laptop. So I do want to do a bit more vlogging next year and try and find a way around using my webcam. So one of the things I wanted to do for my channel was do dedicated reading vlogs on certain authors. So I do want to read the backlist of all 3 of these authors. There's 3 authors I want to talk to you about today. There may be more later on, but there's 3 I want to talk to you right now. I do want to read the whole backlist. Whether I do that this next year or for like 10 years from now, I don't know. But I do want to read the backlist, but I decided I wanted to do dedicated reading vlogs for 3 authors in specifically. And I thought of doing a series where I read maybe 3 books for each vlog of different authors. So the authors I chose were Jodi Picoult, of course, like I mentioned. Francine Rivers, who's a Christian author. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say that. She's a Christian fiction author. And, oh, there's 4. There's 4, sorry. 1, 2, yeah, there's 4. I forgot I added 1. So we got Jodi Picoult, Francine Rivers, Karen Kingsbury, who I love right now. She writes Christian romance or Christian women's fiction. I love her books. I had like 30 of her books before I had to give them all away. Gave away all my books. I miss my books so much. I had like 300 books and I miss them so much. Anyways, and I'm looking at her books right now because I got some from the library and I just love her books. I'm starting to get into Christian fiction again, so I'm enjoying reading that. So I'm embracing it. So I am a Christian. I just don't read Christian fiction very often, and when I do get in the phase, then I read them like nonstop. A fun story. I'll tell you a little story. I started reading Christian fiction back when I was about 14. A store opened in Kelowna called, well, back then it was called Scriptural Supplies. Now it's called something else. I don't even know if it exists anymore. But it changed its name a few years later, and then I don't know if it still exists. But I should check that out, actually. Anyways, and it was a book and CD and tape store. This is, you know, I'm old, so this is back in the, like, 90s. And, this is, like, 1990, 91, somewhere around there. And so my mom and I went there to look for music once, and we came across a long wall, full of Christian fiction books. It was a new genre to us. I mean, we knew it existed, but we didn't know it was a big thing. We didn't know we would love it. We both read a lot. My mom's passed away now. She did read a lot, and I was a reader as well. But as soon as we got into Christian fiction, we just read nothing but. We loved it so much. And my mom and I have such good memories of reading books with her and discussing it and talking to her. And I think she would have loved BookTube. She wouldn't have been on BookTube like I am, but she would have loved watching it and discussing books with me. I wish now that I was the person now that I am back then, so that I could talk to her more better about books. And I knew the thing called Buddy Read. I didn't know about that. So, you know, that kind of thing. So, anyways, I wish I could talk to my mom about books. That's all I'm saying. But she started buying Christian fiction books, and I started reading them. And the first Christian fiction book I read, the first children's Christian fiction book I read was a book by Frank Peretti, and it was the Cooper Family series. I read that when I was about 10 or 11. And then the first adult Christian fiction book I read was the Janetto book. And I fell in love with them. And so she bought tons of books, I bought tons of books. Anyways, that's how I started the Christian fiction. Then I kind of fell out of love with it. Probably about 10 years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, I stopped reading it as much. And now I'm back in the phase. So, back to what I was saying. I'm sorry, that was a side tangent. So we've got Karen Kingsbury, Francine Rivers, Jodi Picoult, and the fourth one, I can count. The fourth author is Jodi Picoult. You may notice a few videos ago, I mentioned I wanted to do a reading vlog about Jodi Picoult's books. I don't know if you pronounce it Picoult or Picoult. I've heard it pronounced both ways, and I think if she's French, it's Picoult, but I don't know if she's French, so I don't know if it's Picoult or Picoult, but it's Picoult. I'll just show you a book right here. Jodi Picoult. And she is not a Christian fiction author, but she writes heavy-hearted, heavy, emotional books. And I want contemporary most of the time, about things that happen in real life, like gun shootings and abortion clinics, things like that. And it's just, they're tearjerkers, and I want to read more of her books. So I've got books here I want to show you that I got from the library, ones that I own. And I'm just going to show you a few books, quite a few books of one author, of these authors, just to give you a taste of some of their books. I'm not going to go into detail about what they're about. You can go on Goodreads and look up their name, or even go to Google and Google the name, and you'll find it. Karen Kingsbury has over 100 books, and Debbie Macomber has over 200 books. Jodi Picoult, I don't know how many she has. Who's the other one? Francine Rivers, I'm not sure how many she has either. But I've got a ton of books here, so let's get started. So we'll start with Karen Kingsbury. Now, she started writing the Baxter family stories, books, and there's like different series in the series of the world of the Baxters. So one of the books I actually read this book 3 years ago, I think, and then I found it at the used bookstore. So I own this one, and actually I found it at the library, I think. Yeah, it's an old library book. The Baxter Family Christmas. I also have the ebook of this. Isn't that a beautiful cover? So this one is about the Baxters at Christmas, and the Baxters are a complicated family. It's a husband who lost his first wife. It's about grieving for her. They have grown children, some of which are following Christ, some aren't. It's a beautiful story. There's, I think, probably 5 or 6 series of like mini series in the world of the Baxters. Plus there is a kids book series about the Baxters children as well. So this book in particular, I can't remember what happens. I don't remember, but this one, Karen Kingsbury writes emotional, hard-hitting books with a bit of romance. She writes contemporaries, and a lot of the books have to do with what the world is going through at the time that she writes them. So she talks about adoption. She talks about death, a lot of death. Not a lot of death, but some death of a loved one. She talks about forgiveness of God. Now, these books do talk a lot about God and God's love and God's forgiveness. If you aren't a Christian, I don't know if you would enjoy these. I say give it a try because you might as well. And I do love them for the Bible verses and for the things they talk about with God. But I feel like Karen Kingsbury is an accessible person and someone who, like an author who can get through to people who aren't believers and get them sucked into the story and then slowly show them God's love. And I just love that. And yeah, I recommend anybody read these. These are okay for teenagers to read, young adults. I would look into what particularly the book is about, because there will be trigger warnings for different things. These books were written from 2000. I think the first book was written in 2006, I think, or 9, something like that. So there is some dated things in these books. Nothing problematic, I don't think. But you know, it's the time of the time they were. At the time they were written, these things were important in the news and important in life. And I apologize for the glare of my glasses. Oh my goodness. Okay. And the lighting's awful. But yeah, so I would recommend Karen Kingsbury. So the other book that I own, which I absolutely love, is The Distant Shore. This book was written in 2021, I believe. I bought it because I saw the premise and I fell in love with it. I will tell you what this book's about, because I have read this recently, just last year. This book is about a girl who grew up in a brothel basically a brothel in Belize, and her father is the owner of the brothel, and he gets her to help him convince runaway girls to come and work for him. And then he says, when you turn 18, I'll set you free, give you some money, set you free. And he offers this big mansion and all that stuff, beautiful place. So they go and they become prostitutes. And they believe they will be set free when they're 18. The girl who lives there, his daughter, is not a prostitute. She's treated very special. She's been led to believe that she will be married off to another prostitute ring guy so that their businesses, quote unquote, can connect together. Meanwhile, there's this guy in the U.S. who is a police officer, and an FBI officer. He gets a chance to break this ring. this prostitution ring and bring this girl's father down. So he goes to Belize and he asks her to help him save the girls and bring them down. Bring this guy down and close him in business forever. He's a big sex slave lord. So, I don't know why I say lord. Sex slave boss kind of thing in Belize. So he wants to bring him down. And so together they work to save the girls. And a lot of things happen. There's a lot of triggers. It's well written. It's not written in a way that there's no graphic sex scenes or anything. You know what's happening, but it's behind closed doors, so you don't see anything. And it's a hard book to read. It's beautiful. It talks about God's love and forgiveness, and I just love it. So that one I own. Then I have some from the library. This one, I believe, is about a musician. Of course, there's a guitar in the front. This one's called 15 Minutes by Karen Kingsbury. Sorry about the glare. It's got the shininess of the cover from the library. So this one, here's Karen Kingsbury right here. So this one's about a musician. I don't know exactly what it's about. I'm looking forward to reading it. Then I have The Baxters, which is a prequel to the Baxter series. And this I did start reading, and I'm enjoying it. And this is about Elizabeth Baxter back when she was alive. It's the Baxter family's mother. And it's a love story, and it's beautiful, and it's emotional, and I cried, and I'm halfway through, and I'm loving it. And then, whoops, I dropped my phone. And then I have Forgiving Paris. This book is another Baxter family book. It's a standalone, and it's about Ashley Baxter, who it's her backstory of when, is it? I'm not sure. Yeah, I believe it's when she got pregnant. And in the Baxter family, you know that she has a son. And this book is the backstory of how that happened and what happened. And it's beautiful, and I love it. Well, I haven't read it yet, but I'm assuming I'll love it. Next, we have Francine Rivers. I do have a lot of these books from the library. I plan on bringing quite a few back either tomorrow or on Monday to the library. Not because I don't want to read them, it's just I have too many books out right now and I'm not going to get to them. But starting next year, I'm going to sign them out again. So the first one I have by Francine Rivers is Bridge to Haven. I don't know what this is about. This looks like a historical fiction, maybe 1950s Hollywood. Yay! So it's a Hollywood story. I'm looking forward to reading that. I will read anything Francine Rivers writes. She wrote one of my favorite books, which was, oh my goodness, I can't remember what it's called. You're yelling at it at me right now. I know you are. It's the one that was just turned into a movie. About Angel. Not an angel. Her name is Angel. And Hosea or Michael Hosea. It's Hosea's story from the Bible, a retelling. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's one word. Can't remember, but I read that book. Redeeming Love. That's it. It's 2 words. Redeeming Love. And I loved that book. I read it when I was about 18 or so. I don't recommend. I was about 16. I recommend it for 16 and older. I don't think young teenagers should read it. It's about a woman who, not this book. Redeeming Love is about a woman who is a prostitute, and she gets beat up and saved by a man named Michael Hosea. And he marries her, and it's all about how true love happens and how he never pressured her to do anything. He just kind of let her be until she could. He was in love with her, but she wasn't. And it was just a beautiful book. So this book, I'm not sure what it's about, but it's 1950s, and I'm going to read it someday. So Bridge to Haven. Then I have Her Daughter's Dream, which is the sequel. I don't have this in order. The sequel to Her Mother's Hope. This is Her Daughter's Dream. This is the Marta's Legacy, I believe. Is this? Yes, this is the Marta series. I did start reading this one, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not quite sure what it's about. Again, sorry. And then this one is Her Daughter's Dream. How come everything's backwards? I don't know why this is showing up backwards. I hope it's not showing up backwards to you. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to reading those. This one I have read before. Oh, I hope it's not showing up backwards to you. I don't know. This is A Lineage of Grace. I have read these books before by Francine Rivers. This is a collection of 5 books, each book based on a woman of the line of David in the Bible, and it's a fiction book based on a real-life story in the Bible. And I'm just looking forward to read it. It's got discussion questions for Bible groups in here as well, and I am looking forward to read this. I do have this on audio on Scribd. I did bite the bullet and get a month's subscription to Scribd. So, because I can't really afford Scribd, but I want to listen to some audiobooks that aren't available on Libby. So, but this one I do want to listen to on audio because I have to bring it back on Monday because someone is waiting for it. Then I have the newest book Francine Rivers wrote, which is The Lady's Mine. Oh, I hope this isn't showing up backwards. I apologize if it's showing up backwards. I don't know why it is. This one is a historical fiction. Yeah, 1875. So I'm looking for, she does historical fictions really well. I just love Francine Rivers' writing. It's just so beautiful. So I love that cover. Can you see without the shiny? It's just beautiful. Then I have The Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. I did start this one as well and read only a chapter, but it sounds really good. It's about an artist and a lady who becomes his secretary or assistant, and their love story, I guess. So looking forward to reading that. Then I have the last 2 books in the, what series is this? Hang on. Taken forever. This is the Mark of the Lion series. I have the first book on audio. I have read the first book before, and the first book is called... What is it called? I forget. What is it called? Hang on. Nope. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm losing it. I'm so tired. Here, no. I don't remember what the first book is called. My brain is just gone. I'm all mush today. Anyways, this is the second book. It's the Mark of the Lion series. This is An Echo in Darkness, and the third one is As Sure as the Dawn. I'm going to be bringing these back to the library, but I do want to read them. I have read the first one about 20 years ago, and I am listening to the audio on that one, and I think I've read the second one 20 years ago, but I don't remember. Never did read the third, so I want to finish that series. So that's all the ones I have from Francine Rivers. Of course, she has a lot more books out, and I just wanted to show you a few of them. Next, for Debbie Macomber, I've got more Debbie Macombers coming from the library because she is the queen of Christmas romance, I believe. And she has tons of Christmas backlist books, and I want to read them all. So Debbie Macomber writes clean and wholesome books, romances, kind of women's fiction romance type books. There is sometimes a bit of swearing, and not much at all, hardly any. Most of it's like, oh my God kind of thing. There's mention of Christianity in all the books. Like there's like they go to church, or there's a church service, or in some of the books it features angels. And so I believe Debbie Macomber is a Christian, although her books are not categorized as Christian, so I don't know. It's not preachy. It's not talking like you have to be delivered and all that stuff. No, it's really clean. It's just clean romance, basically. So this one is Starry Night. I love that book cover. Don't know what this is about. It's about an society page columnist who would love to write more serious news stories, and then she is trying to find an interview with Finn Dalton, the notorious reclusive author. Ooh, I like that. And they fall in love, and I'm looking forward to that. Oh, you know what? I've read this before. I read this a few years ago. I just remembered it. A Country Christmas is another one. Excuse the library thing, but don't know what this one's about. I don't really want to know what they're about, to be honest. Kisses in the Snow. Again, they're just cute little short Christmas romances. This one is not a Christmas one. There's a series that she writes called the Blossom Street series. She writes a few series, and I have read a couple books from that series. I've read quite a few Debbie Macomber books, but I don't remember which ones I've read. I haven't read them for a long time, so I'm going to reread the ones I have read. But this is one I have not read, The Blossom Street Brides. So I'm looking forward to that. And then this one's a nonfiction, One Perfect Word by Debbie Macomber. This is about finding a word to dedicate your year to, like your yearly word. And I think that's what it's about. So, and it's got some Bible verses and Christianity tucked into that. And then another book I got from the library is Mr. Miracle. This is the large print edition. This book does have angels in it, so I'm looking forward to reading that. Okay, I need a drink. My throat is going. Okay, next we have Jodi Picoult or Picoult. First, these books I got from the thrift store for like $1 or $2 or something like that. This is The 10th Circle. Again, I don't know what it's about. 14-year-old Trixie Stone is in love. Straight-A student, popular freshman. Her father, some act of violence happens, and she has to deal with a boyfriend with a tumultuous past. I don't know. It just sounds good. I just want to read all of Jodi Picoult's books. Then we have Vanishing Acts. I don't know what that's about. This one, I do know what it's about, and I have started reading it. This is House Rules. This is about a boy with, is it Asperger's? Yeah, Asperger's. And again, I don't know if it's pronounced Asperger's or Asperger's. I've heard it both ways. I don't know. I've heard both people tell me that it's Asperger's, and then one person tell me, no, it's Asperger's, so I don't know. But it's, I think, good rep in this so far. From what I've read probably 5 chapters. And I am loving it. I do know 2 people who have Asperger's, and I totally see them in this boy. So this is about a boy who loves true crime. Because he has Asperger's, he's very good at finding details that police don't see, and he's very interested in murders. And when there is a death, he goes to a murder happening, he finds out and goes to the scene of the crime. And the police suspect him because he's there and he's awkward. And so he had to be the murderer, right? Anyways, looking forward to finishing that. That is it. That's all the books I wanted to show you. So there's a lot more in these authors. I hope I've wetted your whistle though, and that you might want to join me in some of these author binges. If you want to buddy read any books, let me know and we can work something out. Just let me know in the comments below and I can work something out with you. Okay, God bless you and all you do. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to put all these books back and then probably read for a while. Maybe knit. I've been knitting a lot lately, so. Anyways, have a good day. God bless you and all you do. And happy Christmas month. Bye.